right. We are here. It is our Indy's morning show. After hours.
After hours. Bonus material.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we are doing this is our second episode, and I am excited because I know that every time that we do this, we continue to add new features. And this week, for episode 2, we are streaming live as well on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch.
Why don't we say streaming live?
Streaming live?
Would you stream dead?
Yes. Post stream. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can actually watch the video on our socials. Otherwise, when we're doing this, you're going to be able to actually join and be a part of the podcast, which is kind of a unique thing that we want to bring to the table with this.
So this is streaming live and recorded in front of a studio audience.
Exactly.
They're our studio audience.
That's right.
Okay, I like that.
So don't screw up.
Okay, now you made me nervous.
Don't pick your nose or anything like that.
All right.
This is exactly how Seinfeld did it, right?
It's
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not. So,
I don't think so.
We got Blake already watching. What's up, Blake? Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Blake.
And the topic of conversation that we have for the podcast today is one that I'm very fond of because obviously we live that country lifestyle. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute.
Yeah.
But you want to bring
I had an
something else
observation,
up.
which could be kind of, we're talking about hillbilly things that we do. But I've noticed this more and more lately is mainly men and young men who wear shorts in the dead of winter even.
Oh, yeah.
My sons-in-law all wear shorts. It could be 30 below out there, and they're wearing shorts. Deb, I'm sure your boys do the same thing too.
Well, the youngest won't wear jeans, ever.
I was walking to a store the other day, and it was pretty chilly. The wind was blowing. I had stopped to get gas, and it was cold, and then I had to run inside the store. And I passed a man probably in his 30s to 40s, and he's wearing shorts, but bundled up with a whole winter coat, gloves, and a hat on his head, but shorts. And Matt, you're shaking your head like, you know exactly what that's like.
That's like kind of my age range where that's exactly what they did in high school, too. My buddy Mikey, we call him Jerky, that's his nickname. He literally would wear shorts. Doesn't matter if it was like negative 20 degrees outside or if it was 120 degrees outside.
That's my sons-in-law,
So
yeah.
That's just what they are comfortable in. But I just don't understand that. I'm way too cold all the time.
You know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I don't need a coat. You're trying to be strong. And then I don't know if as an adult, if you're just like, this is how I live now. This is just my life.
I guess there's really no difference in a woman who wears a skirt in the dead of winter.
We're wearing tights with it. But I always think safety. So my thought is if you were to get stranded on the road, especially if it's winter and the roads are bad like this, that's not smart.
Well, if you wear big enough shorts, you can just kind of tuck your legs in. I don't know. So that would be kind of a country thing to do, wouldn't it?
I
Maybe?
think so. Yeah,
well,
maybe.
That's kind of the topic that we're talking about too, right?
Yeah, so what's your story? You said you've done something.
And actually, you use the word hillbilly.
Yeah, hillbilly.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's fine.
We mean that with love.
Yeah.
And listen, my entire family, this is who we are. And I'm cool with that. My grandpa always used to take lawnmower tractors and like take them apart, take like 3 different tractors apart, and then put them together, make one super tractor, right? Just to give you a little preface of how I was raised,
How
right?
cool is that, though?
It was great. It was so cool. He built me a go-kart when I was younger, too, and it was not one that you would see. It didn't look like one you'd see at the store, but it worked, and it was real fun.
Yeah.
But my story is not necessarily more of a mechanical thing, but it's more practicality. I moved into an apartment that was an upstairs apartment, and it was in the middle of summertime, and this place was hot. It was toasty, sweating, moving all this stuff in. There was nothing else we could do, and it did not have air conditioning in the unit, right?
Yikes.
So I was like, what are we going to do? Luckily enough, I had a box fan. And I took that box fan. I said, where can I put this? Should I put this in this window? No. Should I put it in this window?
I think I know where you're going with it, yeah.
I said, where am I going to get the best, most cold air possible? And if you're wondering, did Matt actually go and bungee strap a box fan to his freezer?
Yes.
The answer is yes, it did. Yes, absolutely.
And did it work?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed.
Like right in front of it. The whole house was still hot.
So you created your own air conditioner.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So that's what you got to do. If you're in that bind, like you got to do it. You got to find a way. So.
Now, for me, we do this in our home, and it would be considered a hillbilly thing. And again, that's not a bad thing, but I don't know about the rest of you guys, but we save the shopping bags from like Meijer or Kroger or whatever.
We save all those.
Yeah.
But we have probably, I kid you not, probably 1,000 of them somewhere. It's like, when do you stop saving them? You're not going to use that many
We
of
use
them.
those,
Oh,
though,
yeah.
for dog,
Old food in the fridge. that
picking
you
up
can
the
dump
accidents.
in.
Or
Yeah.
Yeah. But after a while, it's like I told my wife, I said, we're not going to save any more of those. We have enough of them.
How do you store
I think we
them?
might have something. We have a little tube that hangs in the pantry, and you put it in there. But there's so many in there, you can't get to it. I think we have plastic bags from stores that have closed. I mean, we might still have some Marsh bags hanging around our house, probably.
Okay. No, I have a Marsh seasoning. I do have Marsh seasoning.
Okay.
I think it's oregano. Does oregano ever go bad? It's dried anyway. So it's still in there, but it does say Marsh at the top. But I think I've got all of you guys beat with the hillbilly thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let me just, you need to create a bag of bags. You need one big bag to
we
put
have
the
one
tiny
big
bags
bag
in. Yeah,
for
that's
our
what I
small
do.
bags.
Yes,
Okay.
excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this is Kevin knows this story. Matt, you probably don't, but Greg could not. We tried to replace the doorknob in our laundry room leading out to the garage.
Sure.
And he had some trouble with it. Tried 3 or 4 times. The doorknob didn't fit, but it was coming loose. And so when you would go to open it, it would twist and just inevitably twist over and over and over. You couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So finally he took the doorknob off. Okay, the doorknob was off. He couldn't
Into the house.
He couldn't get a new one to fit. So we went over, what was it, 7 months?
Oh,
7 months
Deborah,
with
it
no doorknob
close to a year.
from the garage to the laundry room. But to get it open, because it would close all the way, to get it open, I had to take the actual knob, stick it in the slots, turn it, and move. So it was like a mobile doorknob.
It was like the biggest
No one
key.
has this.
Yeah, for the not door.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's great.
I felt like a hillbilly for 7 months straight
Well, wait a
until
minute,
I
Deb.
finally said, this is unacceptable. What are we doing like this?
You also, not your current car, but you had a car recently.
Okay. Shh. Not important.
Yes,
That
it is
doesn't
important,
matter.
'cause it's
Say yeah.
that in order for you to, was it lock it or unlock it? Required you to
either.
have a screwdriver.
Yeah, okay. I was going to talk about that too. Yes.
Oh, you were? Okay,
Yes.
great. Yes. And
Yeah.
this was my car.
Yeah.
I would come into work and I noticed what happened was I noticed that I would lock the car if we were together as a family, and we would come out from dinner and we'd go to get in it. And one of my sons would try and open the door before I'd even gotten the key fob out. They could get in, and I said, "What are you doing?" So the fob wasn't working. So I tried to replace the battery. I did all of that. Nothing worked. And so finally, I realized I went online. Other people with this make and model were having the same issue, and they said, "Listen, you can take it to the dealership and pay hundreds of dollars, or you can just get a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, and you stick it in this little slot on the side of the door, and no problem." But to do it every time, if I would go to the mall, we went out of town, parked at a parking garage at the hotel, I had to get the screwdriver out. You should see me fishing in my bag for the screwdriver, and my kids actually said, "We are absolute hillbillies."
Yeah.
Just imagine
But it
being
worked.
somebody like in the parking lot around you, not affiliated with you, not your family, and they're just watching you like
I know.
like pulling this thing out of your purse like an instrument. I
How'd
don't
you
know.
handle valet parking? Did you give them the car and a screwdriver?
No,
to
I
park
did
it
not
for you?
valet park when I had that issue.
And a $20 tip.
There you go.
No, but when I was a kid growing up, we had a station wagon that also, it's Oldsmobile station wagon, had some issues with the ignition, and we actually had to use a screwdriver sometimes to be able to start.
My.
Yeah. So, things happen. You're not the only one.
I didn't consider it hillbilly. I just considered it clever because I avoided.
No, it's hillbilly.
No, I
But it's
avoided
okay.
all those months of going to the dealership and getting it repaired. What?
It was a good year.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
If it's 9 or 10 months, it's less than a year. So I'm good.
Well, I will say, going back here, just a couple topics. We had Blake, who's watching us on Facebook, talking about the shorts. He goes, "That's
Yes.
me. That's him. He is that guy."
I wonder if Blake's wearing shorts this weekend when it's going to be like sub-zero.
Yeah, Blake, you let us know. Comment
yeah.
below. And then we also had Louise here who made a comment, and she says, "Put a square fan on the front porch when the temp is 90 and above." So that's one way you can try to cool down. But mine was a little bit more, wanted that ice cold temperature.
I did think of another hillbilly moment. I had a wardrobe malfunction here at work. You know this, Kev.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago.
You missed a break on the air because of
And
this.
thank goodness for duct tape because it held my undergarment together.
Oh,
The upper, if you know what
bra.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Say it,
Okay, so the bra,
Yeah.
my
Let-
brassiere.
Let me set it up.
It
So
snapped.
we're doing
Brassiere.
the show, and all of a sudden Deb is not in the room. We're like, where are you? And the hotline rings, and it's Deb calling from the ladies' room saying,
Yep.
"Hey, guys, I'm going to miss this break because my bra broke. And by the way, do you know where any duct tape is?" And we're like, "What?" And so she duct taped her brassiere
I
back
did.
together again.
I went and found it in the engineer office, and I went into the bathroom, and I kind of MacGyvered the whole thing because that's an important item to be wearing, right? Especially when you work with male co-hosts. So I fixed it, and it was one of my favorites, but I had to throw that thing away because the duct tape wasn't a sexy look.
I was going to say, use the duct tape instead of a bungee strap or anything like that, because that could have worked too. That's what I use. Bungee straps and duct tape always come in handy.
Absolutely.
So, if you've got something that qualifies you saying, you know what, that makes me country, that makes me hillbilly, that's the most hillbilly thing I've ever done, let us know. You can always join us on our socials at 95.5 WFMS on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitch, YouTube, all the places. We're everywhere. And
Blake Shelton and let's see, Trace Atkins, Hillbilly Bone. I love short for Hillbilly Bone. Yeah. It's okay to have one of those.
Oh, sure.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we got some other responses here too, real quick. Joy says she's been there. She's done that, Deb.
Oh, with the bra,
With the bra,
yeah.
And then Joy says hello as well. And then Jennifer also agrees with you. Been there, done that.
Really?
Yeah.
That must be an issue I didn't know.
Especially if you're at work or away from home, you got to do something.
They should make like lacy
duct tape.
Duct tape. So when you do, if you have a lacy bra on, you can...
Or bejewel it or something.
Or bejewel it, yeah. So it'd be like, okay, I can still wear it because it's lacy duct tape.
Yeah, just imagine being on like a construction ground or construction floor and be like, no, I picked up my wife's duct tape. Oops.
Oops.
Oh, so good. Well, thanks for joining us here for our Indy's Morning Show After Hours podcast. We'll do another one here next Friday.
Yeah.
And if you got any topics, again, feel free to put them down. We'll talk about pretty much anything.
See you guys.
See y'all.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.